This episode of Unscripted Turbulence is sponsored by Dude Wow Cocktails. Bold flavor, no extra ingredients. I'm a little nervous.
Really?
You know why I think it is because your brother freaks me out because he was already ready.
Yeah.
He was at the ready. Like 20
I didn't
minutes.
expect to see him.
You
I
didn't?
just expect to see him afterwards, but I didn't expect to get a welcome from him.
Oh,
Surprise.
no. I tried that and he said, no, what about Dan? I said, okay.
Oh.
All right, so are we ready to do this?
Am I allowed to say his name? Do I need a code name? Do I just call him Pilot?
You
I'm gonna
have to
ask
call
you
him
about that.
Pilot. Now
Okay.
listen to me. If you end up calling
It's gonna
him
be really hard.
No. If you end up calling him, I will bleep you out.
Okay, all right. I'll try not to.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go, my
All
friends.
right, thank you.
All right, welcome to Unscripted Turbulence. I'm your host, Raegan Medgie. You should know that by now. And I'm joined by someone very near and dear to my heart, my Seester. So excited. Michele Vidal.
Hi.
Hi.
So excited, but I'm really nervous.
I'm a little nervous too. 'cause
I've never talked to you before or something.
Like, I mean, I know, but it's totally fun.
I know.
Okay, see it.
Yeah.
You just got to get that energy out.
It's just so professional.
Me?
This is all very
I was like,
professional.
You've known me.
It's making me
So
nervous.
speaking of knowing, I did the math this morning.
God.
We have known each other coming this well, maybe not this April. Actually, we've known each other longer than Pilot and I.
No
Yes,
way.
she is
Oh, that's
Pilot's
actually true.
sister. Now, she was told, don't say Pilot's name on this.
Yeah.
If we hear bleeping, it's not because she's going to be dropping F-bombs, because
Which
we
I
let that
also might be doing.
we let that happen here. But because she might end up slipping and saying his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did the math.
Okay.
We've known each other for, I'm going to say 21 years.
Holy moly.
You can say
Really?
holy shit.
Holy shit. Wait, let me think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Did you meet in 2003? Him and
No,
you?
I was 25 and fabulous. So that was
I'm
2006.
trying to think because where I worked and how I met you.
Technicolor.
Yeah.
Technicolor in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Technicolor.
I miss that
Spa
place, man. That was the greatest place. Technicolor Grand Salon and Day Spa.
So
It was the best place ever. And
Okay.
we need to bring something like that back to the Lehigh Valley.
you know they knocked it down.
Yes, it's
I mean, you
sad.
live
I
there,
drive
you
by
see
it all
that.
the time, and I'm like, what it
I
once
know.
was.
It's
but
now a
yeah,
parking
so
lot.
I worked there for a very long time. But that's how I met you. But so, what year did you meet him?
Through you, 2006, because, so this is the backstory how Seester and I know each other. Because somebody thought that you were actually my sister, and they were
Oh,
like, wait,
do
so
we
you're
look
married
alike?
to your brother? I'm like, ew. I do have a brother. Not married to him,
No.
married to her brother.
Yeah.
So it was, so we met. I would go in, I was working at Service Electric TV2 News in Allentown, which is no longer around. It's now TV2 Sports. And I would go in because we had an account there, the
Yeah.
company, to get free hair and makeup. That's right, free hair and makeup. I would get my hair done for free. I would get free makeup and brushes and everything. By the time I got to New York, I was paying for all of it. But regardless of
Yeah.
it goes backwards.
Yeah.
So I would check in, and Michele was the front desk person. I would check in.
Smiling face. Yeah.
So then I would go down. I would go back in the area where the makeup artists were, and I was with Nehemiah, a fabulous gay man.
Love him.
Nehemiah and I had many a conversation about many an inappropriate thing, but we will also not be going there. But anyway, so he
Yeah.
would do my makeup. That's how I know how to do my makeup. Michele knows how to do hers because, well, we'll get to that. Not because of me. So Nehemiah, from how I remember it, Nehemiah, you would see me getting checked in. You went over to, is that how you talked to Nehemiah about me?
He came over and said, oh, we're going to go out tonight. You should come out. And I said, oh, my brother's coming home. Because at the time he was living in Florida, I think.
Yes.
He was home for a trip. And I said, oh, my brother's home. We're going to just hang. And he's like, oh, you should bring him out. And I was like, I don't know. That's not really his thing. Because he's very, very introverted, my brother. Very opposite of me. And he was like, no, I'm bringing Raegan. And I always thought you were gorgeous. And I was like, oh, wait. So then the wheels started
Michele.
turning. And somehow, by a miracle, he agreed to go out. It wasn't even like a planned setup. It was just like a
Now, mind you,
come out.
where did we go out? We went out
Of all places.
to the Stonewall
Is that
in
even still there?
Allentown. I think it is.
Oh,
I think
wow.
it shut down for a little bit, and then got renovated and whatever.
Yeah.
And the Stonewall in Allentown is a gay bar. The fact that Pilot agreed to meet me.
A bar in general. A club in general. Let alone.
I raised the ante, a gay bar. I was like, that man's a man for me.
Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah, and then that night it was Michelle, me, my friend Lindsay, Nehemiah. So me, Lindsay, and Nehemiah all were together, and then we met up with you, and you were with your friend Carla. And I remember them walking into the gay bar, and I was like, oh, I recognize Michelle. I'm like, oh, I knew Carla, and I was like, oh, who's that tall, dark, handsome?
Then you danced to Shakira's "My Hips Don't Lie," and that
and
song
let me tell
will forever be that night.
Pilot will be embarrassed for me to tell you. Now, if you're watching,
oh my God,
I'm going to show what he did.
No,
you can't really see. But
do I know this?
Yes, we were on the dance floor.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, we were on the dance floor, and then guys in banana hammocks were trying to offer your brother Jello shots. It was fabulous. Anyway, so Shakira's "My Hips Don't Lie." Come on, okay. So I'm trying to think. I'll look at these floodwaters I have. Anyway, clearly I'm not the one that does the fashion. So he comes up to me and like it's getting good, and does one of these like.
My God, I don't remember this.
Well, you weren't on the dance floor, but there was magic flying left and right, and I couldn't believe it. It was sparkles and awesome.
I still just can't believe it because, like, has he ever been to something like that ever in his life since then? I don't think so.
No, I tried to get him to the Stonewall here in New York because I thought, oh my God, this would be great.
Yeah.
And he was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's fine.
The rest was history. And I'm forever the matchmaker.
Yeah, so they say that that's good luck when you end up being a matchmaker.
Unintentionally.
Yeah.
Completely.
Didn't even think about.
No, I just thought you were hot. My brother was single. I was like, this could work, but I didn't think in a million years.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's how Seester and I got to know each other. So Seester is what I call her. Obviously, people are going to think that you're like a nun. Oh, she is not, my friend.
Definitely not.
So we'll start from the beginning. What I like to tell everybody where you're from. Now, obviously, if you've been watching me, you know that it's Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Yes. So born and raised, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Raised, yep. Had a great childhood. Parents still happily married. Just like very normal, very typical. College at Temple University. Also something we had in common.
Go Owls. We didn't even know.
We're like 4 years apart graduating class, I think.
I was 2003.
Yeah, it was 2007.
Oh. Yeah,
Crazy.
She's a little younger than I am. Just a tiny bit.
Had a great childhood. Pilot.
Beep.
Pilot was.
I knew that was going to happen. It's fine if you. I'm going to have to really go through this, but yes. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, he was significantly older, 7 years older. So he graduated high school, went into the service. My younger brother and I. It was just a very we all got along. We all had a great relationship.
Yeah, you do have a very. I will say.
Very unique. I think
it's
compared
unique
to my children nowadays. This was not me. I loved my brothers. We never fought. But, no, it was very a very structured, good sounding family. I mean, I will say that because, and when you meet people along the way, you find out their families maybe, everybody's got their drama. We will get into that. But your family is they're really phenomenal. They're special.
Right. So it's.
Yeah, and I think college was when I realized not everybody grew up the same way.
Yeah,
I think I was
outlier.
in a bubble. Well, I was just wow, people just came from different walks of life, and it was very eye opening, and I think that's when I really appreciated what I came from.
Right.
Because up until then, it was just normal. All my friends normal.
Yeah.
And then when I got to college, I was like, oh, whoa, this is not normal. Yeah. The exception.
So now I originally I met your current husband. Dan, when you were just dating him.
Yeah.
Round one, we'll call it. And that's when I was with Pilot dating him.
That's so funny too. I thought about that you were there.
I was there. I remember there was a picture with you guys next to in front of the fireplace, and you were. I don't know. It was what, MySpace at that point.
Oh my God, probably.
Yeah, and then you posted the picture, and on the bottom there were captions you could put, and you're like,
yeah.
So this is what love feels like.
Oh God, the cringe. Cringe.
But you know what? I was like, that's really sweet.
Thank you.
So
yeah.
So now if you are watching, and I say this because if you happen to see Michele and she looks a little familiar, and you're like, hold it up. So yes, I like to classify myself as a TV person in the family. Michele also has a little something going on too.
Yes. I'm on the social media side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a grandma in that space.
Oh,
So
stop it.
I kind of am though. So I started my YouTube channel in 2007. That was the year that YouTube started.
And meanwhile, I am thinking, YouTube, I'm on TV. Like it's going to be.
And look at you now.
I should have.
Full circle moment.
I should have. Because now I'm on the YouTube, and I should have probably.
And I'm not really on the YouTube anymore.
Yeah, no, but you got
so
the follower. I see your subscribers.
Yeah.
How many subscribers?
They're locked in. I don't even know, to be honest.
94,000.
Oh, God.
Now, Michele is an OG.
It's dusty over there for me.
It is, but you're an OG, and I like to say that. So
I am proud of that.
You should be proud of that.
It was, when YouTube started that year, it was like cute cat videos, like cute baby videos, music videos. That was it.
Yeah?
I didn't know it was anything other than just like, hey, did you see that video on YouTube? And then one random day, I was Googling how to curl your hair with a flat iron, because it was something I wanted to learn how to do. And a girl's YouTube video popped up, and I was like, what is this? Clicked on it. Lollipop 26. If you all, my followers, will know. She was this gorgeous British girl from London, and she taught me how to curl my hair with a flat iron. And then I would check back like every couple days, and she would have a new video. And I was like, wait, this is like amazing, because I've always been very girly, very like into makeup, into fashion, and none of my friends in real life ever got that. Like,
or
I'd get
eventual sister-in-law. I struggle
nobody.
with that.
Like,
Nope.
I would get psyched over a MAC collection, and I would try to tell my best friend, and she's like, cool, makeup. And still to this day doesn't wear makeup. So I found this like this girl, and then it kind of like exploded from there. I found all these other girls that were just posting makeup videos, newest collections, tutorials. Like, it was this whole, I was like, this is amazing. People get it. So then I learned you could subscribe. So I would always be notified when their videos were coming up. And it was like this whole world of like me. Like, I felt seen. I felt so like understood for my passion and love of all things. And then
I didn't know this is how you started. I always tell people, oh yeah, she started by putting makeup on her on like tutorials.
I started
like, that's
as a
what
good old viewer, subscriber for probably 2 months. And then I think one day I was just like, I want to try. I want to give it a whirl. I don't know what I'm doing, but I made my first video on my MacBook camera, using my MacBook camera. How embarrassing. I think the videos are still up. Don't go look. But also,
please, everyone's going to be like.
I feel like I leave it up because I'm like, we've all started somewhere. But
yeah, I think it's going to do that.
I started in my bedroom. I was still living at home, and I didn't tell anybody I was doing this because I was embarrassed at the time. Like, how do you explain it? Because again, at the time, YouTube was like crazy, like cutesy videos and music videos. They're like, what do you mean? Who are you talking to? I remember a couple times my mom be like, who are you talking to in there? I'm on the phone.
Mill,
I'm on the phone.
Mother-in-law, Mill.
But it was like so a bit embarrassed. Like, how do I even explain this? Back then, it was like very foreign. It wasn't like it is now. I did it for like, I just started posting random videos about like makeup I was into, new collections. I feel like there was like viral products back then before they were actually viral.
Or even considered viral. Like that wasn't even a thing.
You know, one of my favorites saw the product and we would go on like a wild goose chase to try to find it. And then Mac was releasing all these collections every other day. So I was trying to hoard all the collections and makeup storage. It was like a whole thing. And I kind of just started sharing like my life outside of that. Like, people got to know my dogs at the time and, you know, like my story. And then it kind of started. And then I remember like a brand would reach out and like offer to send me makeup. And I'm like, wait, what? For free? What is this? And then I think I hit like 1,000 subscribers and I got invited into the partner program.
Yeah,
like,
which I'm now invited. Yeah, hey.
So I'm like, oh, like I can make money doing this? And I think that's why I've been successful at it, is because I never started to like make money. I never started to like do something, be somebody. I just found this community of women that just like got it and understood it. And it was just always very genuine on my end. But yeah, it just kind of one thing led to another. Brands started reaching out. I started getting partnerships. But the coolest part about it all is like my viewers were so locked in. and they're still so locked in. And I feel like it's the biggest blessing because they've all just like, we've all grown up together. It started like then, and they're all still with me all these years later.
But now on Instagram.
And yeah, my life has just evolved, and I've taken them along on the ride, and just always tried to stay true to myself and share highs and lows and everything in between. But yeah, like the audience at the time, I feel like the community is the thing that I like think is the most special, especially nowadays when that world of social media is so oversaturated and everybody's trying to be somebody. Like I never was like, okay, I need to grow. I just always was like very content with like what I had. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's trying to just like get all these followers, and I'm like, I just really love my people, and I just want to like pour into that community.
And I think it's interesting because you got in it so early before it became what it is now.
Yeah, we weren't.
And
called
you've seen the difference
influencers.
now?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, like now you have kids that are like, I want to be an influencer, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Like just to go after like to be an influencer. I don't know. To me, that's not like
go and meet the community. There's a community out there
like
for you.
It's bigger for me anyway. Like it goes deeper, but again, with it being so oversaturated and the millions and billions of people that it reaches, I feel like it is very hard to like find your people and have that genuine connection on the internet. Whereas I feel like because I started so early, people have gotten to know me, and like I've gotten to know them. Like I have friends that I've never met face to face, but like I could tell you their whole life story just from exchanging stories online. And when you go through things and you share things and then they share, it's like this whole other friend group that you've never met, but like they have your back. They're like we ride people, like always. It's really cool.
Wow. So there are people who did reach out to me that were excited that you're going to be on my pod.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. There's a woman named Lily. I hope I'm right with this. And Lily was commenting on how she loves your style.
Oh, God.
And wants like advice
Thank
and stuff.
you.
And we can get to that later because there's some other topics of discussion. Speaking of, so, being on social media. And I mean, obviously, I could talk at length, and this is not about me. Although my podcast is named after me, regardless, when you're out in the public and you're public facing, and social media does that too.
Yeah.
You really want to release what's going on with you. You don't have to tell everybody everything because not everybody needs to know everything. But, we'll start with the fact of, let's go to you getting married. Oh. And not to Dan.
The first time. It's been 2 times. Yeah, so that was fun.
So Michele got engaged in 2011 before me. Pilot and I actually broke up for a couple of months.
Brief stint.
Is it whatever? We'll talk about that at another juncture. But so got back together, and then we got engaged, and then I remember we got married, then you got married.
Yeah.
So we got married in September 17th, 2011. And then you got married, was it May? 2012?
19th. 2012, yeah.
19th, 2012, yeah. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I met him at work. It was like my first real job.
Do we want to mention his name?
I'll keep him anonymous.
Anonymous.
I feel like people that know me know.
Anonymous.
Know. And
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so we met at my first real job. We dated for a long time. I mean, I was only 23 at the time. And looking back now, hindsight is 2020, but I feel like it was my first real serious relationship, and it was great, or so I thought. Like, it was a really good relationship.
You didn't think Dan was a serious relationship?
We were serious, but I was in college. He had a child at the time. So, I mean, well, he was ready. And that's part of the reason why we broke up the first time, because he was like ready to settle down.
Because his child was how old at that time?
He was 3 at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a lot for me, because I was like, I don't know, like to get married is one thing, and then to like be an instant mom, it was just a lot for me. So, but it was never like, he was just always such a great guy. But I remember saying to him when we broke up, I just wish I met you later on in life. I'll never forget that. I said, I just wish I met you later on in life, because it was such a good, healthy relationship, and he was such a guy, but I just was like, I was just not ready. Like, I had 2 more years of college left. I wasn't ready to like be thrown into the mom role. So we parted and we cut cold turkey, and that was the only way I knew we had to do it because it was such an emotional relationship. So fast forward, I started a new job out of college and met my ex, and also thought he was a great guy, and things were moving.
We all loved him.
I thought
we all loved him in the family. Very fun.
He's a good guy. I honestly still think he is a good guy. He just wasn't a great husband. But yeah, so we dated for a good chunk of time, planned the whole big wedding. Parents paid for the whole big wedding, and got pregnant right away with Addie. And shortly before her first birthday, I'll never forget, he came home on a business trip and said, "I'm not happy." And I was like, what? Like, I was genuinely like, what do you mean? Because we were together at that point for 7 years, only married 1 year, had never said those words to me before. So it was like out of left field. So I was like, okay, what do you need? Like, what am I doing? What do you need?
And by the way, audience, I don't know this story. Like, there's some of these parts of the story it's gonna be new to me. So go ahead. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah. So I'm not happy. And I'm like, okay, what do you need? He's like, I think I just need to go stay at my parents for the weekend. And I was like, hold on a second. Like, you just got home. We talked the entire time he was away. Like, everything I thought was fine.
You're totally
did we
blindsided.
have arguments, fights, like every couple did? Yeah. But it wasn't like any major,
like, blowout or anything.
There was no lies caught. There was like nothing. There was no red flags. And so he had just come home. I remember, I'll never forget, I still have pictures on my camera roll. Like, I was outside in the backyard with Addie and Jake and like my dog, and we were like just waiting for him to get home. And he got home, we had dinner, and then after dinner he's like, we need to talk. And I'm like, okay. And he said that, and I was just like, wait, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I was just like so gobsmacked. And like, he was just very insistent. Like, I just need to go. And I'm like, do you want to go to therapy? Like, I could call tomorrow. Like, I was just shocked. And so he left, and I remember I called his mom first because I was just like, I felt like, at first I asked, is there somebody else? No, how could you say that? I'm like, it's just weird. Like, you're coming home from a trip and I'm thinking everything is fine. Our daughter's about to turn 1. Like, so I called his mom because I thought maybe she could explain. She had no idea. She was like, I don't know what's going on. What do you mean he's coming here? And I'm like, I don't know. He's headed to you. I don't know what's going on. I took Addie and I went to my parents' house. Eric was my younger brother at the time. He was probably like, 21. And I just like fell to the floor, and my brother's like, he's cheating on you. And I was like, no way. Like, he would never. And this is my younger, like 20-ish, 21 brother. He's like, you just got married. You have a daughter. Like, what guy just leaves without any kind of willingness to resolve?
Whoa, Eric.
I know. Very, very profound for my little brother.
Wow, yeah.
And I was like, I was mortified because I'm like, because they were really close. My parents loved him. Like, my parents were like, no way. Like, maybe he's just going through something. And we tried, like, it was weird. So there was like it was still kind of a blur. Like, I would say it was about 3 weeks of like back and forth, like trading off Addie. He was like, we were going through my mom because I couldn't even face him.
Wait, this was before Addie's first birthday?
Before her first birthday, yeah. And then we had her first birthday.
Yeah, I remember that.
But like, we didn't tell anybody anything was going on. Why would I? I was so embarrassed. And so we were just going through stuff behind the scenes, and I was like, he couldn't give me like a straight answer as to what was not making him happy or something that I did. He was insistent that there was nobody else, and I was just like, I wanted to bang my head into a wall because I'm like, So her first birthday came and went, and it was so funny. Like, I look back now, and I remember one of my best friends, Jolie, who you know.
Yeah.
She came for the birthday party, and I'll never forget. She pulled me aside, and she's like, I just like want what you have. She's like, I strive for your marriage, and I didn't have the heart. I was just like, yeah, it's great, it's wonderful. Like,
oh my God.
She's like, I just want it so bad, and I'm like, yeah. Like, I was dying on the inside. So I remember I asked him every day, probably multiple times a day, for 3 weeks, is there somebody else? Is there somebody else? Is there somebody else? No. He was pissed that Eric said that. Like, how could he say that? And I was just like, what else do you want people to think? Like, it
was such an about face.
Yeah. And I think women's intuition, like, I knew, but like, I needed to hear it. And he was just like adamantly So every day for 3 weeks, no, there's nobody else. And then one day when I asked again, he's like, yeah, there's somebody else. And I'm like, I friggin' knew it. So
when you heard him say that, what
it was very
happened?
outer body. It was very surreal. Cause like I said, intuition, like I kind of knew, like I obviously, like what else could it be? But to hear him say that, it was just like an outer body experience. Like my world stopped. And I said, well, like for how long? And he's like, I don't even remember what he said. I said, when did it happen? And I think he said 4 years ago.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I think I could get past this. Never in a million years did I think I'd be the girl that would ever like consider taking somebody back. But I was like, okay, 4 years ago, I think I could move past this. We could work on this. Like we're in a good place now. We have this child. We just bought our second house. And then I said, well, when was the last time? And I think he said like a couple months ago. I was like,
well, that changes things.
Yeah, that changes everything. So then, and I call myself an emotional cutter. Like I just need to know all the details. Even if I know it's going to kill me inside, I was just asking for all the details. Was it only one person? Yes. Who is this person? He would not tell me. It was nobody I knew. He told me he met her at a bar, and it just continued on and off, but for like 4 years, on and off. So like my head is spinning because at this point I'm like, we've been together for 7, we've been married a year, and all the while there's been somebody like waiting in the wings. And like, I don't know what he's telling her. Like, are you telling her that we're over, we're ending, you're working on it? All the while, like we're buying a house, we're getting married, we're getting engaged, we're getting married, we're having a child. Like it was just a lot of questions. And then I got to a point where I was so angry because I thought, you stole every like first for me and every magical moment that every girl dreams of. Now, remember, like I had a great childhood. Like my parents are still happily married. You have in your mind like how your life is going to go and how it's going to look. And I was living it. Like I had the guy and I had a great job, and like we bought the beautiful house and had a daughter and wanted more kids, and I had the white picket fence, and I like saw the way my life was going, and the rug was just completely ripped out from under me. And I felt like an idiot too, because I was like, how did I miss this? Like, but he was devoted. I never caught him in a lie. And he was always where he said he was going to be, called me on his way to work, on his way home. Like I never.
He did all the right things.
Never made me question anything.
Until.
Yeah. So, but I was so angry because I just remember thinking like, you stole everything from me. Like I'm never going to get that back, like those first back. And then all those moments, all those like cloud 9 moments of like getting engaged and having our fairy tale wedding and giving birth, finding out I'm pregnant, giving birth, like they all like are associated with this cloud over me. Like I just remember thinking like none of it was actually genuine. Like I was genuine. I felt like so happy, but like clearly you were battling something and I didn't even know. And so I was really angry about that for a long time, because I was like, if you had just told me or come to me, like we didn't need to continue doing this. Like I would have let you go, you know, like if you don't want to be here, I don't want you to be here. It's hard to say that now because I have Addie, and I wouldn't change that for anything. So I've always like, I feel like she was the reason that it all had to happen the way that it did. So that made it a lot easier. And honestly, like post finding everything out, she was like my light, because it got dark. And back then there was no like daily Instagram. So like I've released YouTube videos when I did, so nobody knew what I was going through. And it was a lot easier to go through things back then.
Oh, I didn't think
now,
about that. Now,
if you go dark on the internet, it's like, send the police. Where is she?
Welfare
She
check.
hasn't posted.
Welfare check.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's right.
Yeah, so it was a lot easier for me back then to just like, you know, because I would like batch videos, so I'd still release videos, and nobody had any clue. I was like happy as a pig in shit in my videos. No one had any clue my world was crumbling around me. But it got really dark. I remember my best friend Colette, I think she was living in Germany at the time, like flew home, was like at my side. I remember I like got to my parents' house, handed Addie to my mom, and I got in bed, and I like think I stayed there for a week. And my mom would just like, and Colette, they would just round the clock, like checking on me. Like I was depressed if I've ever seen. Like it was dark because
I had no idea this. I mean, you really kept it.
Yeah, because it's just not fun to talk about. But
and now we're on a podcast and we're talking about
We're healed now.
We're healed.
But yeah, I mean, it was just dark. And again, it was just like that. It was the initial blow, but then it was also just like mourning that life that I thought I was going to have. Like I saw my life going a certain way, and to just have that ripped out from under me. And now I'm a single mom, and I only really had social media because I had quit my job at the time to stay home with her. And at the time, like social media wasn't like crazy lucrative. You know, I had Stella and Dot, which was like a jewelry business, but that was really it. Like I was like, how am I going to support my daughter? And, you know, I had this house, and it was just like very like I'm on an island. And I at the time had known nobody that had ever gone through this before. Like I was the first.
Because you were how old at that point? You were.
I think I was like 23, 20. No. I was like 27.
Yeah.
27, 28. But like I was the first of my friends to get married. So like, and my whole family, like my family, his family, nobody, there was no divorce like in any of that. So it was a whole new world to me. And now I had a child that I now have to share. Like, and that's the other thing. It's like, I thought I was going to like be her 24/7 mom, not like have to like miss out on a breath, you know, at this point. So it was just very hard to like mourn that life, and then also just like figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my life at this point. But I ended up sharing that I was going through this. I think it was about 4 or 5 months. I put a blog post. Blogs were back then. Blog post. And I just wrote, and I was just very like, I didn't get into specifics, but I just shared what I was going through, because it got to a point where I was like, I can't hide this anymore. Like, and people on the internet, like, they don't miss a beat. You're not wearing your ring. Like, why aren't you wearing your ring? Like, why is your background different? So like, I knew I had to, and again, like I always say, I don't know anybody an explanation. Like nobody is entitled to your personal business. But again, like the community that I had built at that point, like I just felt like they were I documented my whole wedding series to them. Like he was in videos. Like I just felt like I couldn't just, not address the elephant in the room. So I did put up a blog post, and it was honestly the best thing I ever did, because I feel like it opened the doors to feeling so much less alone, because so many people started sharing their stories with me and just like where they are now. And it just was it left me feeling so hopeful, because I think in life, when you go through horrible situations and you can just have even one person to relate to, it just makes you feel like so much less alone and like, okay, I'm going to be okay. And to this day, I get messages from women that are like, I just found out, like I'm where you are. So for that reason, I feel like it was probably the best thing I ever did, because it just opened the community even more. It gave a vulnerable side of me and made me more human to people. And I feel like it's also really inspired people to see where I am now and like what I've overcome, that like you'll get there. It'll take time, but you'll get there.
And by the way, this is just the beginning of the turbulence, okay? Because this isn't like, oh, I went through this. It's a very big thing you went through. I'm not minimizing it, but...
It got worse, yeah.
Yeah, so tell us what happened with X.
Yeah. So we split. We got divorced. We separated, and then we got divorced. And this is kind of where Dan re-enters the picture unintentionally, because at the time when Dan and I dated the first time, I was going through all his custody stuff with his son. So he was the only person truly that I knew that had ever like had to hire a lawyer, like go through the court system. And I was just very like, what do I do? Like, I had no idea what I was doing. And I mean, not even my parents could give me advice, because they're like, we don't know. So I reached out to Dan, and I just sent a text. And at the time, again, like I didn't know where he was in his life. Like I had no idea what was going on with him. I know the guy that he is, and I knew if I needed he's just that guy with everybody. Like you need anything, he's there. He doesn't need to know, he's just there. And so I remember I sent him a text, and I didn't even have his number in my phone anymore. I remembered his number. I sent him a text, and I was just like, hey, it's Michele. Hope all is well. Kind of going through some stuff and need some advice. Like, would you be available to talk or to meet or whatever? And I'll never forget, like, those 3 dots like instantly. Because I really thought this guy, it didn't end well with him and I. Like, he wasn't happy about us
His
ending.
heart was broken.
We were both broken, but he was even more, again, because he kind of saw his life going a certain way back then. So he was not as like forgiving, I feel like, but I really expected him to just ghost me at the time. But subconsciously, I think I also knew that, just knowing the kind of guy he was. He wrote back immediately and was like, yes, like, let's meet here at this time. We met at this like Monocacy Park, like random park.
Oh, Monocacy Park. I have stories about
like,
Monocacy
where
Park.
fishermen go to fish. Like the most random park.
It is a sweet, pretty park in the middle of Bethlehem.
It is very pretty.
Very sweet.
But I met him there, and it was weird. It was like awkward at first. And I didn't tell him anything that was going on, and I ended up sharing. And I was like, also too, it's funny because through everything I was going through with my ex, I started doing therapy. I learned a lot about myself, a lot about like, because as much as he cheated, like there was some blame that I things that I learned about myself that I probably shouldn't have done or could have done better. So I was learning a lot about myself, self-reflecting. And I remember there was a moment in therapy that it was like a light bulb moment. I remember thinking back to like, when did I ever feel, or like looking ahead into the future, what do I want? And I remember thinking back, like the most secure I ever felt in my life in a relationship was with Dan. Like there was just something about him that always, and it's crazy to say that because you're like, you were with this guy for 7 years and you married him. So how did you not feel secure? And again, it's like it was just a feeling. Like I felt good in my relationship, but it just wasn't like that. And I remember leading up to meeting Dan that day, I remember thinking to myself, like, I need to tell him like how grateful I am that I had that with him, almost to hopefully give him some closure too, because again, it just ended like very cold turkey and it wasn't great. Because I just really I didn't value him at the time. I didn't appreciate my relationship with him, or like the kind of guy that he was, or that he was to me. And I just needed him to know that, like, looking back, I will never take for granted again. And I hope that I remember saying to him, I just want you to know I will never settle until I find somebody that made me feel the way that you feel again. Little did I know that it would be him, honest to God, hand to God, like had no intention.
That was not your intention going in and meeting with Dan.
I didn't want in. No. I was like, men, like, stay away. But I just knew, like, whenever the time came that I felt like ready to start dating again, like I would not settle until I had that feeling. So I talked to him about just like custody and lawyers, and asked him who his lawyer was because I really didn't know where to start. And that was like it. And then we kind of just were like, he would check in every couple weeks. How's it going? How are things? And at the time, he was also in a relationship that I didn't know about that was also not great, which he didn't share with me that day, but that was kind of like on the way out. But so he would just check in on me, and I was going through all the court stuff. And I will say, if anybody's watching this and going through stuff, like, always get a lawyer, because there was a lot of times where I was like, I think we could do this amicably, because him and I I was bitter.
The ex.
Yes, the ex. I was bitter, but like we were amicable. Like I wasn't out for blood. I just wanted to see my daughter as much as I didn't want to lose any time with her. And I thought, like, I didn't want her life to be uprooted either. So, but even as amicable as it is, always get the lawyer, because there's always going to come a point where you're going to disagree about something. And it's just good to have that support and like know where you should be and what you're entitled to. But we did, for the most part, like through meditation. There was no like there was no nasty custody.
Mediation.
It was mediation, and it was great.
Which one needs meditation to go through mediation, let me tell you. Go on.
So we got our time split and whatever, which was awful in the very beginning. I mean, still now, I hate having to miss out on any of her time. That never gets easier. Yeah,
so like Addie will come for like part of the holiday when I'm home, and then she'll have to like leave halfway through. Yeah. But I will say, she has an old soul. She's to me, it seems like she's got it kind of figured out. Like you raised a good kid.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like she's very normal for everything she's gone through, and I do attribute that to him and I, and how we've co-parented. I will not bash him. Like, he's an incredible father. just wasn't the guy for me, wasn't a great husband to me, but he's been an incredible dad to her. And I am so proud of us, like him and I, how we have co-parented her this far, because she's such a happy kid and she's successful and she's just normal. Like she has, because when it first happened, I was like, this is like, I just wanted to give her like a normal childhood like I had. You know, you have to like kiss that dream goodbye. But truly, she is the most normal kid and has the most normal childhood. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that him and I truly, we were just about her. Like, and that's one thing, like I get asked all the time, how do you do it? You have to take your bitterness and like your personal feelings for your ex and throw it out the window and just keep it about the child. Because if you do that, if you constantly have the child at the forefront, it's whatever. Like the other stuff just doesn't matter. And I will say, as they get older and they get involved in more things, school and sports and all the things, like you're going to have to be together and to be seen. So it's better for your kids to see you getting along and communicating than to be sitting on opposite sides of a gym or, you know, and having to like feel uncomfortable. I never wanted her to feel like that. So in the beginning it was hard because it was a definite like fake it till you make it, say hi, you know. Now it's like we were just out to dinner with them the other day.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, like it's very, very good.
Just the four of you?
Like, and their kids. So it's just very, like, she's in sports now. So, like, my kids, their kids, they're all at the games having a good old time. And honestly, like, Addie's the one that benefits the most because she's just so happy. And I think, too, once you become happier and you're content in your life, like, it just releases all this stuff. Like, I'm like, that was just not meant for me. It just wasn't, and it had to happen the way that it did. But, yeah.
So, I don't know how much you want to... I may ask questions because I am privy to much information. So you meet up with Dan at the Monocacy Creek Pavilion, and things go well eventually.
Yeah.
And I feel like what's going on? There's a high and then there was a low.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we started dating again, where I was like, I did not see this coming. Like, I did not want this, but he was just incredible. Like, he was just, he turned the lights back on for me. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, we started to rekindle, and now we're like blending because he had a son and I had Addie, and it was just a very dynamic situation. We bought a house together, our first house, like wanted to blend the family. Everything was great again, I thought. And we got engaged and then got pregnant with Bentley. I'm trying to think of the timeline. Yeah, got pregnant with Bentley. Had Bentley. Had Bentley in July of 2017. Planning our wedding for October of 2017. And I believe my ex and his wife got married the month before. So we're all in full-blown wedding planning. And our world came crashing down because Addie was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia 3 months before all of this. So
I remember getting the call. I was on the
who called you?
On the beach, actually. Did and he called. I don't think I ever told. I just
pilot.
When you're with family, it slips. Beep. Shoot.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was hot. I was on the beach, I think in the Rockaways, and I was suntanning myself. And I was off from work that day. And Pilot calls me, and he's hysterically crying. I don't think...
I didn't know that.
And he says, I said, what's wrong? And he's like, it's Addie. And I said, okay. And he was like, she's got cancer. She's got cancer. She's got leukemia. And I said, it's going to be fine. He's like, how do you know it's going to be fine? Now, do I know exactly? No. My gut told me it was going to be fine. Now, I had a friend who had cancer when he had leukemia and he survived it. And that's what I knew. So I said, I can't, I don't know. I'm no doctor, but we're going to get through this. And he was hysterical. Wow. And I calmed him down. Yeah. That's what happened. I never told you that.
That hurts me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was 4 at the time. And I'll never forget because it's funny too how your brain like remembers details where if you go back to like, oh, what were you wearing in this day? Like, I don't know, but like I remember all of these details so well. So she was always a very like active, outgoing, never stopped, never slept, like always on. And it was summer of 2017. I had just had Bentley. He was 4 weeks old. And my mom was coming to pick her up for a swim day. And prior to that, a couple days prior to that, she fell randomly with her dad. And I remember he mentioned it to me in passing, like she fell randomly, like it was weird, like her leg kind of just gave out. And I didn't think anything of it. He didn't think anything of it. And whatever. And then we would see my mom all the time. She's like, her color looks pale to me. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I asked Dan, I asked my ex. No, like her color all looked fine. And I'll never forget the morning of Bentley's 4-week well check, I had one of her friends over for a play date. And when I saw her next to her friend, I was like, wow, there is like a stark difference in their skin tones. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe my mom is like onto something. So I bring Bentley for his well check. And I loved, God rest his soul, our pediatrician so much. I worked with him before he became like my kid's pediatrician. I loved this man so much. So we were in for Bentley's well check, and I brought Addie, and I said, could you just look at Addie? Like, we think her color's off. She was a little, like, lower energy than normal, but, like, not, like, she's still crazy. Like, she's planning to go to the pool today. He's like, yeah, she looks a little pale. It's probably just viral. He's like, but I know how your brain works, because he knew me really well. He's like, if you want to do blood work, just to rest your mind, we'll do blood work. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do blood work. We did blood work. He's like, I'm going to call you tonight. Don't worry. I know you. Don't worry. She's going to be fine. I'm like, okay. Didn't call me. So I'm thinking everything's great. The next morning, my mom's planning, literally coming over for a play date. I remember I didn't even had Bentley's diaper changed yet. And she fell like right in front of me in the kitchen. She wasn't running. She just fell. And I was like, why did you fall? And she said, I don't know. My legs just gave out. And I'm like, I'm like, something's wrong.
Oh, no.
So I called the pediatrician's office and I'm like, hey, like I had my daughter in there for blood work. Nobody called me. Did you get the results back? The nurse was like on the phone, I don't see anything in her chart. Hold on a second. Puts me on hold. I'm like getting breakfast ready. And she comes back. She's like, Addie's hemoglobin is dangerously low. You need to get her to an ER right now. Do you need us to send you an ambulance? And I was like, what? Like it was like very like, again, outer body experience. I'm like, wait, what? Ambulance? What? She's like, you need to get her to a hospital right now. Hang up the phone, immediately call her dad. And I'm like, I guess I'm taking Addie to the ER. I don't know what's going on. Her hemoglobin is really low. So hang up. I'm like, meet me there. Hang up. Call Dan. Call my mom. They're all meeting me at the hospital. I'm Googling, like, as I'm like, I still didn't change Bentley's diaper. And at this point, she's starting to get like very weak, like very like dead weight almost. Like I had to lift her into the car and I was like, something
wow, the timing, like
happening.
right as
so
it's
quick.
Wow.
So I'm Googling. My ex is calling me like, hey, it looks like she just maybe like she's anemic or something. And I'm like, I know, that's all I'm getting too, because her hemoglobin was a 3.5. And to put it into perspective, a healthy person's hemoglobin should be like a 10 to 12.
Okay.
So I'm Googling like low hemoglobin and everything's coming up like anemic, anemia, whatever. So I get to the ER. I remember Dan got there. He was waiting because he was working up that way. He like got her out of the car, was carrying, it was like a scene out of a movie, like rushed her into the ER, immediately get her taken back. We're in a room, fucking room 11 at the hospital, I'll never forget. And I just remember them coming in. They're like, we're going to need to do blood work again because it changes so quickly. And so then another doctor comes in and I'm like, what are you guys looking for? Like, I was so like, all of these things were happening around us and I'm like, nobody's telling me anything. Like, what are you guys looking for? If it's just her hemoglobin, like she's probably just anemic. And they're like, it's all of her numbers. All of her numbers are bad. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? And she said, well, it's probably cancer. I'm laughing now because for a doctor to speculate that word, you know it's bad. Because normally they'll never even say, they'll never come close. And I'm like, what? Cancer? They're like, you know, we're going to send in an oncologist to talk to you guys.
Oh, wow. We were like elevating out of nowhere.
It was like the world was, everybody was moving around me. And like, I was just like radio sounds in my ear. Like, I don't know how I didn't pass out or throw up. Like, I was just like, what? Like, everybody's moving around. Everything's happening so fast. They're trying to get a line on Addie. She was hysterical. They couldn't get a line. And it was just the most traumatic experience. And aside from this, I remember, so I had Dan and my mom in the ER, like, waiting room, and my ex had nobody. And at the time, like, we were still kind of, like, it was still a little salty between me and him. And, like, I had never even met this person he was with, and it was just, like, all around still very awkward. I remember I pulled him out into the hallway, and I was like, call whoever you need to call and, like, get them here, because I just didn't want him to, like, be alone. I felt so bad. So that was, like, a turning point, too, I think, for him and I, because I was just like, it didn't even matter, like, what him and I had gone through. I was just like, you need somebody here with you. So the oncologist came in, and she was like, she has leukemia. We just don't know which kind. We're running more tests, but let's hope it's this one. And I'm like, I started laughing. She's like, I know you don't want her to have any of it, but, like, this is the one you want, because this is, we know how to manage.
There's more that there's one that has a higher survival rate.
Yes.
There's another one
good prognosis and a lot of research, and that's the one it turned out to be. So it was B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and they basically, I remember, I'll never forget, they handed me a chart, and it was like, this is what it's almost like when you go in and you test positive for strep, and they're like, here's your amoxicillin, take it for 10 days. Like, it was like, this is what she has, this is what we're going to do, and she's going to be fine. And it honestly went that way. Like, she was in remission within 30 days. They, like, pumped her up with so much steroids. She blew up. Like, she was unrecognizable. You probably remember.
Yeah. She had the big face, the big round face. Yeah. And then eventually lost all her
And I'll
hair.
never forget that night I called my friend Mike, who I wasn't even close with. I graduated with him, but I remember.
My friend Jen's married to Mike. Yes.
He was my first call, because I remember seeing him posting on Facebook about his daughter going through stuff. And again, just, like, needing that community, needing to feel like somebody could, like, quiet my worst, darkest thoughts. I called him, and he was like a soldier. He was like, this is what's going to happen. She's going to blow up. You're not going to be able to recognize her. She's going to go back down. It's going to be fucking awful, but she's going to be fine. He's like, I remember he's saying his daughter's, like, great. She's thriving, all these things. So he was, like, my saving grace, because truly, like, I had all these doctors telling me she's going to be fine, but, like, to know somebody that had walked this path. And again, that was just another thing that I decided to share on my social media, because I knew, like, for one, selfishly, I really wanted to, like, find other people that could just, like, talk me off the ledge and talk me through it. And then also, again, like, it's been wild to see how many people since I've shared that have come to me and said, like, my child just got died. It's like, I hate how, like, almost normal and, like, common it is now. It was a long battle. So she was in remission within 30 days. That was another very turbulent day. I'll never forget. They called me at 5 o'clock. Well, early the day that they called me that she was in remission, my dog Jake, who was, like, my soul dog. I had him for 8 years. He was a golden retriever, and everybody knew him on my social media. He was, like, in all my videos, and he was, like, my first child before I even had Addie. So I remember I got up that day, and Dan was like, he doesn't want to go out for a walk, which was not like him at all. And I'm like, really? That's so weird. And then we ended up getting him out, and then the doorbell rang, UPS at my door as usual, and he didn't bark. He didn't get up, which was also not like him. And then when he did try to stand up, his back legs gave out. And again, I'm like, great. So I knew, again, something was wrong. I called my ex, because we had shared the dog at the time. And he's like, let's bring him in. So I brought him in, and they saw that they had, like, they called me. Did he have a blockage? Did he eat something? He has, like, a little blockage. And I'm like, no, he doesn't really get into stuff anymore. Like, again, I'm like, it's a tumor. And they're like, no, it doesn't read like that. We're going to give him fluids and just, like, keep him for monitoring. The radiologist is going to come in tomorrow. We'll read the thoughts. I'm like, okay. So he's at the vet. 5 o'clock, the oncologist calls me to tell me Addie is in remission officially. They did a blood test, and they did, like, no cancer cells. So 30 days in remission.
Wow.
Still had, like, 2.5 years of treatment to just prevent it from returning, but highest of highs, right? 8 o'clock that night, I'm upstairs giving Bentley a bath, and Dan comes upstairs, and he's like, your mom's trying to get a hold of you. My mom at the time had worked at the vet where I had Jake. Your mom's trying to get a hold of you. It's Jake. And I'm like, what? So I get downstairs, and I call my mom, and she's hysterical on the phone. And she's like, Jake's like internally bleeding. We need to get him up to Valley Central, this like 24-hour clinic. And I remember like I fell to my knees and was just like, why are you doing this to me, God? Like I was so upset because I'm like highest of high to just like crash out. I just remember like falling to my knees and screaming. And my ex came to my house and we loaded Dan in the car. My mom stayed with the kids and we had to get to the vet because they don't have like pet ambulances. This was like a terrible scene that I could never get out of my head, but we pulled up and they had Jake on a cart, wheeled him out, put him into my van, and like we took off. My ex, Dan, and I like took off to the hospital and got him in there and had to sign all these freaking papers where I'm like, just save my dog. Like, I don't know, what are you making me sign? And we left him. They were like, we're going to have to open him up for surgery. We don't know what's going on. He's got this blockage. He's internally bleeding. We're going to have to open him up for surgery. I remember just like saying goodbye to him, but like not expecting that to be like the it. And we went home and the doctor called it was like probably 12:30 a.m. at this point and was like, we opened him up and he's just like, it's loaded everywhere. Like he's cancer everywhere inside. And it was so weird because I'm like, he never had any symptoms. Like he ate, he was drinking, he was playful. I remember I went for my pre-bridal hair the night before and I'll never forget, like he came to the door, was like so happy when I got home. And I called and I was like, what do we do? Like we had to either let him go or they said we could try chemo, but like, you know, maybe. And I'm like, this is like, he's just going to be suffering. So I lost my dog that night. The same night that Addie went into remission. And that was like the worst because he was there for everything, like through everything. He was like, his like coat was soaked in my tears over the years. But in sharing all of this, the one thing that kept coming up, I had so many people reach out and said in our culture, we believe that our pets take on like our human sickness. Sorry.
Darn, damn it, Michelle.
But it really gave me peace because, thank you. To this day, I really think that Jake took on Addie's cancer.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, never heard that version of the story.
Yeah. That was really, really shitty.
Yeah, you think? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I was going to mention something like that, but you said it beautifully. I'm looking at the time now.
Yeah. We've been on the ups since then, though. Yeah.
No, we have.
It's been great since then.
Listen,
one more kid to the mix. Yeah.
I was going to say, we could squeak out a little bit more time to understand. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's crazy. It feels like it was like light years ago, but also feels like it just happened.
So you got through all of that.
Yeah.
Everybody got married. Addie's fine and thriving.
Great. She's thriving. She's an athlete.
Jeez.
Straight A's.
Because she's now how old? I want to say 11.
12. She'll be 13 in May. Yeah.
Jeezies peasies.
Yeah.
So she
still
got
gets her
through
checkups and they'll monitor her forever. But now I'm like ultra paranoid all the time when my kids get sick. But I feel like that's just a normal that I have to learn to live with. Like anytime they get fevers now, I'm like, well, this is great. Here we go again. Because it's hard to think of a fever as just a fever when you've been through what we've been through. But I will say, I feel like that whole situation really forced my ex and I to get our shit together and just like co-parent beautifully because we had to be together so much more than and with his wife too, like who I really wasn't fond of in the very beginning. Clearly. Well, she was the one that, you know,
because I didn't know if you were going to mention it, that was a little twist in the tail. I have so much respect
for her now, so it's really hard for me to like say, but she was the one. But again, I think everything happens the way that it's supposed to and for a reason, and we're all good now. Like Dan and my ex are like buddies, like hanging out at the game. Like everything is really great, but it really forced us to get our shit together and get along for the sake of Addie. I mean, he spent every night at the hospital with her.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, because I was nursing Bentley. I remember we stayed at they have a hotel hospital that we would stay at. But he was by her side every night, and him and his wife, they were there all the time when Dan and I couldn't be there because we had Bentley and Louie. And it forced us to really acknowledge like there's much bigger things happening in our little petty stuff. You know, it doesn't really matter. But it also just, I think it all just worked out the way that it was supposed to. And I say it all the time now, like I wouldn't change any of it. Like if I had to go, it was the darkest, I mean, first the divorce and then the cancer. And it was the darkest points of my life, but I would do it all over again if it put me here.
So we talk about life today.
Today is really good. No complaints. Knock on wood. Everybody is healthy and happy. And yeah, I feel like I've learned to give myself a lot of grace over the years. And I come back to the social media thing because I feel like that community of people from all walks of life, from all countries and places in the world, like has been so grounding for me. And it's just allowed me to be able to share all of this. Like I did do 2 years of therapy, which I highly recommend. And it was very helpful.
I believe the therapist that you used was my therapist that I had.
It was great. Love therapy. But
she's phenomenal. She can't cross state lines.
No?
No. So that's why I would have her.
Yeah. Oh, she'd be great to have. Yeah.
Well, no, not in the seat like for me.
Oh,
like, you just like, you need like somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, like a checkup, right? A brain, mental, soul checkup.
Yeah.
And I did reach out to her and she was like, I'm not licensed. I'm like,
dang.
Damn it.
She's great. I learned a lot
really
about
great.
myself through her and just through all of it. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's just taught me to like not take anything for granted, celebrate the small wins and don't sweat the small stuff because there's always bigger things happening to other people that you just never know. And to always be kind because I feel like you just because you don't see things doesn't mean they're not going through things. And I still go through things, but I feel like I
how do you get through them?
I just do. Like, I feel like you don't really have a choice when you have a family and people that are relying on you to show up. Like, you don't really have a choice. You just have to push through. I think it's taught me to be very mentally tough. Like, I don't dwell because that's not really, and I don't worry about things. I mean, I worry, but like, I realize that worrying isn't changing your situation. So I try to just control what I can control. I pray a lot. I have a great relationship with God, and I feel like that's who gets me through at the end of the day. And Dan, he's just been my rock. Like I truly, like I don't know what I would do or who I would be without him because he has just turned the lights on and kept them really bright and he's just the best. Yeah. It's just like all full circle and so crazy. But it's always like, really, God? Like this is the way you needed me to get here. Okay. Like I won't question you, but damn. But yeah, I have no complaints about life nowadays. I just hope it's a continued smooth sailing.
I think you got through enough rough surf. But from my perspective, I think that you're doing one hell of a job as a mom.
Thank you.
You've kept it all together through those moments where things were so dark and confusing and you couldn't figure out a way through that storm and that turbulence and what have you. But you raised really great kids. And I think that that's just a testament, obviously, how you were raised, but like you really care. You really give a shit.
Yeah, sometimes too much.
But is there ever a too much?
I don't know. Really, I don't know.
If you care too, I was once told I care too much. That was in my career. We're not going to go there again. That's not about me. But it wasn't the current career. I was in commercial production, which is definitely not my thing. I was told, you know what, you care too much. You just have to not care as much. And I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't know how to not.
There needs to be more caring.
Yeah, and more empathy and more compassion for sure. Because, you just never know. And like in the blink of an eye, literally things can change. And it really forces you to just appreciate like what you have. And I think now more than ever, like I really appreciate what I have and the people that I have in my life. And I keep my circles really small now. I mean, I love my social media community. It's grand, but I feel like in my real life, day to day, like I keep my circle very small and it's intentional that way because I feel like I can only like give so much to so many people. And if they're not giving it back, like I don't have time for that. And I don't want to put my energy into that when I have plenty of people that want that and that I'm willing to give. So I keep my circle really small, and I try to keep the negativity out of it, and just focus on my own stuff. And
I always bring the sage or the crystals. Should you ever need the negativity,
I know, it always comes to you
of your arena. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I think this has been a phenomenal conversation. I feel like we could still cover more ground in talking.
Yeah, definitely.
We could do a part 2 at another time.
That would be fun. Yeah.
If you want.
I would love that. This is fun. I feel like we're just chatting like
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, that's really basically what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also use some advice on how to dress. Because now my barrel jeans have turned to capris.
No.
As I'm sitting.
Because you're sitting.
Because I just can't.
Mine are barrel jeans, but they look like it because I'm sitting.
Mine don't. They look like shorts. All right. Anyway. All right. So we are done.
Okay.
You had a good time?
Yes, it was great. Thank you for having me.
We shared some
tears. I feel like I just had therapy. I feel cleansed.
Where's the sage? Where's the crystal? Anyway. All right. And one last note about Danny's Knicks fan. Big Knicks fan.
Die hard. And Addie too. Like the two
she
of them,
is now
I
too?
I have to leave the room. Yeah. They're like
okay.
around it. It's just very loud. They have the TV, like they're calling plays and I'm I don't know. I'm just gonna go read.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're done. So we'll wave to the camera goodbye, and that's it.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
No problem. Thank you for tuning in. Bye, friends.
Yay.
Take what lands, leave what doesn't, and keep moving forward. Follow wherever you're listening, and if you are watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know.